Utah Property Casualty Insurance Adjuster Exam EXA. 2 Sup 8 A quality within property that causes it to damage or destroy itself. Includes rust, rot, and fading paint. Inherent vice property insurance does not cover damage from inherent vices. Think, ordinary wear and tear. 2 Sup 11 A principle holding that when two perils simultaneously cause the loss, they are both the proximate cause. What happens when one of the causes is excluded by the policy? Concurrent causation. The insurer must pay the loss even if one of the perils is excluded by the policy. Utah licensees must notify persons about privacy practices at least once every months. 12. 49. Which of the following is not true about coverage for property removed and why? A. Property is covered while being removed from the premises to avoid a covered loss. B. Coverage applies under the DP3 form for 30 days while the property is removed. C. Coverage does not increase the limit of insurance that applies to the property removed. D. Property coverage applies under the DP1 policy for 30 days while the property is removed. False. The property coverage applies under the DP1 policy for 30 days while the property is removed. DP1 only provides 5 days of coverage. 1 to 10. Each of the following must be included in an insurance risk except A. Calculable chance of loss. B. Excluded catastrophic perils. C. Large group with dissimilar members. D. Accidental losses. Large group with dissimilar members included. ACE. Accidental losses. Calculable chance of loss. Excluded catastrophic perils. 2 to 9. A liberalization clause serves what purpose? Broadens coverage automatically to all policies without a premium change. Utah, each insurer must notify the commissioner within days after terminating the appointment of any agent or organization. 10. Utah, a producer must biennially complete credit hours of continuing education. Must be ethics. 24.3 must be ethics. 2 Sup 14 A property that contains personal property but has no occupants. Unoccupancy. See vacancy, card 2 Sup 16 and card 5 to 4. 1 to 12. Each of the following is an element of a legal contract except A. Consideration. B. Legal purpose. C. Agreement/offer acceptance. D. Indemnity. Indemnity. Utah, an insurer must cease using a rate within days if the rate is rejected. 60. 1 Sup 10 Residual markets. Insurers agree to apportion among themselves those risks that are unable to obtain insurance through normal channels. Is a risk sharing plan. Utah, a producer or consultant must keep documentation of completing continuing education requirements for years after the end of each 2-year licensing period. 2 to 6 is the method of loss valuation that values damaged property at the repair or replacement cost minus depreciation. ACV, actual cash value. 2 to 10. Each of the following is a typical policy exclusion except A. Ordinance or law. B. Flood. C. Fire. D. Neglect. Fire is a basic peril that is covered. The others are usually specifically excluded. 2 to 11. Who has the broadest coverage under an insurance policy? Named insured. 2 to 4. Each of the following is a direct loss except A. Loss of income, B. Fire damage, C. Cracked windshield, D. Broken pipe water damage. Loss of income/living expenses are indirect losses. 1 Sup. 17, Federal Regulations, Terrorism Risk Insurance Act. The insurer deductible is %% of all covered losses. 20% mnemonic, Terrorism equals T20. 1 Sup. 2, what is the acronym for managing risk? S. Share T, transfer A, avoid R, reduce R, retain. I. Utah, who may be held liable for an unpaid claim under an illegal contract. The person issuing the contract. D. Utah, to become a consultant, a person must have had a training period of at least of the last 4 years. 3. 1 Sup. 3, under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, disallowed information, a report must not include lawsuits over years old and bankruptcies over years old. Lawsuits, 7 years BK, 10 years. 3 to 4, payment of necessary medical expenses without regard to negligence is covered by what insurance coverage? Medical payment coverage will also pay for surgical, X-ray, dental, ambulance, hospital, nursing, and funeral expenses incurred by a third party on the insured's premises. 3 to 2, which damages are awarded to the injured party for the actual medical expenses incurred. Compensatory damages. Under this, there are specific damages which are paid for specific, tangible losses, and general damages which cannot be objectively calculated, such as pain and suffering. 2 to 1, a policy form that alters or adds to the provisions of a property and casualty insurance contract is an ________________________ Endorsement. 2 Sup. 7, a fire that was intentionally set and stays within its intended boundaries, e.g. fireplace, and results in smoke damage to the inside of the fireplace. Friendly fire. Property insurance does not cover damage from friendly fire. 1 Sup. 1, insurable risks must include a large number of homogeneous units or groups with the same perils and includes which is, as the number of units in a group increases, the more likely it is to predict a particular outcome. The law of large numbers. 1 to 9, dishonest tendencies that increase the probability of loss is what type of hazard? Moral hazard. 4 to 4, an attached carport is covered under what coverage? What else does it cover? Coverage A. Dwelling includes structures attached to the dwelling such as carports, garages, breezeway, or deck. Also covers construction materials. See card 4 to 5. 1 to 11, restores the insured to the same economic condition that existed before the loss. Indemnity. 1 to 13, a statement in the application that is guaranteed to be true is called a ______________________________________________________________________________________________ Four to 1, which of the following is not eligible under the dwelling program? A. Dwelling has no more than 5 roomers. B. Dwelling has no more than 4 apartment units. C. Dwelling includes a piano school. D. Dwelling is located on farm property. Dwelling is located on farm property, as these can be insured under a different property policy. Incidental business occupancy such as schools, daycares, studios, and offices are allowed as long as the primary purpose of the dwelling is a personal residence. P. Utah, the commissioner may place a licensee on probation for up to months. For a new licensee. 24 for existing licensees, 12 for new licensees. 2 Sup 19 insures a single item of property on a single policy for a specific limit. Compare with card 3 to 10 combined single limit. 3 to 7 name 2 statutory law defenses for when a claimant accuses an insured of negligence. Statute of limitations, after the specific amount of time has passed, as listed in the statute, may bar recovery. Comparative negligence, damages are reduced in proportion to the claimant's own percent of negligence. 3 to 5 each of the following are elements of negligence except a duty owed, b duty is violated, breach, c foreseeable consequences, damages, d intervening cause. The third element is breach of the duty is the proximate cause of the damages. Duty breach cause, proximate cause, damages, foreseeable, intervening cause is a defense against a claim for negligence. 3 to 6 name 3 common law defenses for when a claimant accuses an insured of negligence. Contributory negligence, if the injured claimant was 1% negligent, it bars recovery from the insured. Assumption of the risk. Intervening cause, second distinctly negligent act occurs after the first cause, but before damages occur, and interferes with the chain of events. 3 to 10 the of liability applies to bodily injury, property damages, or both. Combined single limit applies to claims arising out of one occurrence. Compare with card 2 Sup 19 specific limit. 2 Sup 12 the existence of 2 or more policies covering the same exposures that do not have the same policy periods is called a . It may create a coverage gap when underlying liability policies and an umbrella policy do not agree on effective dates or coverages. Non-concurrency. R. Utah, each insurer must respond to any request from the Commissioner for rate information within days. 45. 4 to 10, which of the following does not apply to the other coverage? Glass or safety glazing material. A. Covers glass that is part of a covered structure. B. Applies to all dwelling forms. C. No coverage applies if a dwelling is vacant for 60 consecutive days before the loss. D. May be settled on a replacement cost basis. False. Applies to all dwelling forms. Coverage is only provided under the DP2 and DP3 forms. 2 to 12, which of the following is not true of coinsurance? A. It is a common policy provision. B. It encourages the insured to maintain insurance to value. C. It applies in the event of a total loss. D. The higher the coinsurance percentage purchased, the lower the rate the insured pays. Not true. It applies in the event of a total loss. True. It applies in the event of a partial loss. Total losses are typically paid in accordance with the valued policy law. 1 Sup 7 an insurer is authorized by a state's commissioner of insurance to do business in a state and has received a certificate of authority to do business is called a . Admitted, authorized, insurer. 2 Sup 18 insures property located at more than one location or more than one type of property at the same location, or both. Blanket limit. Utah, a licensee must give a person days to opt out of privacy disclosures. 30. 1 to 8 a federal regulation that protects consumer privacy is the . Fair Credit Reporting Act. 2 Sup 9 A legal agreement issued by an insurance company or a producer that provides temporary proof of insurance until the insurer is able to issue a policy. It is issued for a specific time period, max 60 days, and automatically ends when the policy is issued. It contains the name of the insurer, amount, and type of insurance, as well as specific perils insured against. Binder. 4 to 11, the earth movement exclusion contains all of the following perils except A. Mudflow, B. Explosion, C. Landslide, D. Earthquake. Explosion. But, if a direct loss by fire, explosion, or glass breakage occurs as a result of earth movement, the policy will cover the ensuing damage. 2 to 5 underscore 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 is the method of loss valuation that values damaged property at the cost to replace it with property of like kind and quality, at current prices, and without deduction for depreciation. Replacement value. 4 to 3 Which dwelling form pays for losses to the dwelling on an actual cash value basis? DP2 and DP3 both pay for losses to a dwelling on a replacement cost basis. H. Utah, the commissioner must examine every insurer and rate an organization at least once every underscore 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 years. 5. 1 Sup 19 Federal Regulations, Terrorism Risk Insurance Act. The insurance company's share of losses in excess of the deductible, amounts paid or losses exceeding insurer's deductible, is underscore 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 percent, while the federal government is responsible for underscore 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 percent. 15% insurance companies, 85% federal government. Q. Utah, each authorized insurer must file all rates, supplementary rate information, and the filing fee with the commissioner within underscore 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 days after the rate's effective date. The exception. 30 Exception, rate changes to an assigned risk plan must be filed immediately. 3 to 9 underscore 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 is the most the policy will pay for the sum of all the losses occurring within a policy period. Aggregate. The payment for an accident during a policy period reduces the amount of insurance available for all future accidents that occur for the remainder of the policy period. A. Utah, a person applying for an adjuster's license in Utah must, SPEBS. Asterisk be at least 18 years old. Asterisk SSN. Asterisk personal history. Asterisk experience. Asterisk business record. Asterisk submit a non-refundable fee. 2 Sup 5 A cancellation of insurance that is retroactive to the effective date of the policy. No coverage is provided and the insurer must refund the policy premium paid by the insured. Flat cancellation. 1 Sup 4 Under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, inaccuracies, an agency must forward to the applicant incorrect information given out by the agency within underscore 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 previous years. 2. 3 to 1 A underscore 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 is a civil wrong committed by one person against another. Which ones are covered? Which ones are not? Tort liability insurance covers most unintentional torts and excludes intentional torts. 4 to 12 What types of power loss failure are excluded under all of the dwelling forms? Losses caused by power failure off the insured premises is not covered, but, if a covered peril ensues as a result of the power failure, that damage is covered. O. Utah, a licensee may be required to wait for up to underscore 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 years after revocation before applying for a new license. 5. 2 Sup 15 Designed to provide coverage on a worldwide basis to third parties and does not pay benefits directly to an insured. Umbrella policy. 1 to 3, A underscore 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 insurance company is organized under the laws of another state within the U.S. organized in another country. Foreign insurer, alien insurer if another country. 2 Sup 4, a cancellation of insurance that incurs a financial penalty is called a underscore 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 underscore. Sometimes, when the insured cancels the policy before its expiration date, this is issued. When it is issued, the insurer retains a portion of the unearned premium to cover costs. Short rate cancellation. 4 to 6, which coverage pays for the loss of rents due to direct loss to the dwelling from a covered peril and how much does it cover? Coverage D, fair rental value limit of insurance is up to 20% of the coverage A limit. 1 Sup 6, an insurer has either applied for authorization to do business in a state and was declined or has not applied, so they are not authorized to do insurance business in a state. This type of insurer is called a underscore 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 underscore. Can they do any business in the state? Non-admitted, unauthorized, insurer. Surplus and excess lines insurance can be placed through non-admitted carriers, though. 1 Sup 8, reinsurance companies. Types of insurance. An agreement that allows ceding and reinsurance companies the opportunity to negotiate coverage for individual risks and discuss among each other about the underwriting of each case is what type of agreement? Facultative agreement. 3 to 8 underscore 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 liability is designed to prevent the insured from collecting more than the actual extent of his loss by allowing a policy to pay its share of the loss. Pro rata liability, instead of each insurance policy paying its full coverage. 4 to 2, which dwelling program form covers the building on an open peril basis. DP3 special form covers the dwelling and other structures on an open peril basis, which covers all perils except those specifically excluded. DP2 is the general form. 2 Sup 16, a provision that eliminates or limits coverage for buildings that don't contain sufficient personal property to support intended occupancy or use. Vacancy C unoccupancy, card 2 Sup 14 and card 5 to 4. 4 to 5, all of the following are covered under coverage B, other structures except A, swimming pool, B, construction materials, C, shed, D, storage building. Construction materials used for repairs or renovation of the dwelling or other structures are covered under coverage A. Dwelling coverage B includes swimming pools, sheds, storage buildings. 2 to 7, A underscore 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 insures one or more items of property on a single policy and the specific amount of each item is listed. For example, one farm policy equals $100,000, one barn policy equals $200,000. Scheduled limit. 1 Sup 5, under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, applicant challenge. A credit reporting agency must reinvestigate any applicant's challenge of accuracy within underscore 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 months. 6. 1 Sup 9, reinsurance companies. Types of reinsurance. An agreement that automatically covers all risks contained in the subject lines of business is what type of agreement? Treaty agreement. 1 to 14, each of the following is a factor considered by an underwriter except what? What is the acronym for those factor considered? A. Hazards. B. Marital status. C. Claims history. D. Outside factors. Marital status. Acronym of factors, HONC. Hazards. Other factors that depend on the type of risk being insured. Nature of the risk. Claims history. 1 to 6, what type of authority does the public assume an agent has when quoting insurance, completing applications, and accepting premiums? Implied. 4 to 8, the limit of insurance for the other coverage, trees, shrubs, and other plants, flora, is provided at which % of coverage? A limit. 5%. 1 to 4, the _________ department of an insurance company accepts the insurance risk. Underwriting. 2 Sup 2, a sudden, unforeseen, unintended and unplanned event from which loss or damage results is called an ___________________________________________________________________________________________________2 Sup 1, an accident that includes continuous or repeated exposure to the same general harmful conditions and is called an _________________________________________________________________________________occurrence. _2 Sup 6, the primary cause of loss. If only one peril caused the loss, is the first event in the unbroken chain of events that resulted in the loss. If two or more perils caused or contributed to the loss, it is the peril having the most significant impact generating the loss or damage. See Utah, qualifications, a licensee must. Asterisk at least 18 years old asterisk good faith asterisk no controlled business asterisk no grounds for denial, suspension, or revocation. 2 to 3, if the insured does not agree with the insurer's decision regarding a claim, what process helps decide the outcome? Utah, an insurer may request approval to charge a higher rate for a specific risk and may be used if not disapproved within days. 10. 1 to 7, a producer has each of the following responsibilities except a. Fiduciary duty, b. Forwarding premiums to the insurer on a timely basis, c. Reporting material facts that may affect underwriting, d. A duty to recommend only high-rate policies. A duty to recommend only high-rate policies. 1 to 1, a insurance company is owned by its policy holders. Mutual. 2 Sup 17, this type of property coverage provides insurance for all causes of loss that are not specifically excluded under the policy. Typical exclusions are flood and earthquake. Open perils. 1 to 15, what calculation is a company's loss ratio? Paid losses plus reserves / by total earned premiums. Utah, a licensee must notify the commissioner within days after any change of address, phone hashtag, or business email and before using an assumed name in Utah. 2 Sup 3, 2 Sup 3, a proportionate cancellation of insurance that refunds premium to the insured based on the precise number of days of coverage was in effect is a ________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________The is the premium charged and retained by the insurer for the number of days coverage was actually in place. The is the premium refunded to the insured for the number of days coverage was not in place. Pro rata cancellation earned premium unearned premium. 2 Sup 10, the right of the insurer to take possession of damaged property after paying for its loss. B. Right of salvage. Utah, a non-resident agent, a new agent, moving into Utah must apply within days to become a resident licensee. 90. F Utah for a producer underscore 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 means insurance issued on one's own property or the property of relatives by blood or marriage. Controlled business. G. Utah, a promotional gift is an inducement if a person must complete an underscore 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 to receive it. Application. 4-7, all of the following are types of property not covered under coverage. C. Personal property except A. Dog. B. Canoe. C. Motor vehicles. D. Credit cards or fund transfer cards. A canoe is covered under coverage C. Coverage C covers all household and personal property usual to the occupancy of a dwelling. Things not covered under coverage C include dogs, animals, fish, motor vehicles, credit cards or fund transfer cards, accounts, banknotes, coins and currency, electronic data processing, tapes, wires, and records. 2 Sup. 13. The maximum amount payable for loss, per location per person, from all occurrences within a policy period regardless of the number of separate accidents. Aggregate limit. J. Utah, what may the commissioner do if a person commits insurance fraud? Suspend or revoke the person's license. 2-8, the duties and obligations of the insured are found under what part of the insurance policy? Conditions. 1-2, if an insurance company wants to transfer all or part of the risk it has accepted, it would do so by which type of insurance? Reinsurance. 3-3, what document reports how and when a loss happened? Notice of loss. The insured must notify the insurer of a loss. 1-5, who represents the insurance company when selling an insurance policy? Producer/agent.